Everyone, welcome in to the Father-Son Football Fanatics podcast. We are so glad you're here with us today. We're your hosts, Caden Combs and Michael Combs, and we've got a good show for you today. We're excited about it. Caden's really excited because they're leaving to go to Florida in the morning, and I'll be following them down on a plane in about a week, and we're going to have a good vacation. Next show that you see from us is actually going to be in Florida. So make sure you tune in for that one next week. But for this week, we've got a little bit of news. We've got some Would You Rathers. And, of course, we've got our top picks for the tight end position, which is a really tough one. So we'll go ahead and jump right into it.
There's a lot of news in the NFL in the offseason, but this season there's been a lot of news this season, this offseason, and it has definitely gone down since March and February.
Yeah. And since April. Everybody who was relevant got traded at some point.
Team that needed them. But there's not much news that you will really care about. But Colin Kaepernick training with the Las Vegas Raiders, apparently it went well. So he might be getting on their team as a backup. But
yeah,
if he starts, I'm changing my top receivers because Devontae Adams is not going to be in the top 10.
He's not going to start. He's probably not going to be the backup. I mean, he hasn't played in 6 years now. I mean, this is year 6. No way does he come out on the field and start.
Well, maybe.
Not a very good chance that he even comes on the field as a backup. Could they have him on the practice squad? Sure. Yeah. And what a great story that would be for him. Coming back after 6 years of not playing, makes it on a team, at least on a practice squad. You know, the Raiders are the hero. That'd be great, but he's just not going to be able to play and keep up with everyone else that's been playing this whole time. But in other news, again, not huge news, at least not as of right now, but Jeremy McNichols gets traded to the Falcons. So he was the backup to Derrick Henry on the Titans last year. Came in, had a little bit of fantasy relevance in those games that he filled in for Henry, but he didn't explode. He wasn't this awesome running back. But he goes to the Falcons, who all they have is Cordell Patterson. They need some depth there. He'll step in and be. He'll be a partial back in the backfield. He'll share the backfield with Patterson, but he's not going to be the starter right away anyway. So, but there's a couple pieces of news, but we'll jump right into our top picks for the tight end position. This one was a little interesting, and it was funny. We were making our lists, and Caden actually. He showed me his list, and nowhere in his top 8, because that's as far as we got. After 8, it's really, there's just nobody. But not even in his top 8 was Travis Kelce. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You don't even have Kelce in your top 8? He then revised it because he just totally looked over Travis Kelce and forgot that he even existed, I guess.
Well, I put him at number 1, and I was like, no, Mark Andrews deserves that spot. And then I forgot about Kelce. I put all the other guys and didn't put Kelce anywhere, but I ended up putting him.
So yeah, he added him in, but. Started off without Kelce, which I thought was crazy.
Actually, I started off with Kelce at number 1. Then I took him out. And then I put him back in.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So.
I can see the mistake.
I'm not so delusional. I'm just a little bit. No.
Okay, so on our top list here, we decided together, we agreed that Mark Andrews would be our top one for tight ends for the show. I have Kelsey at number 1. I have Andrews at number 2.
I have Andrews at number 1.
And he has Andrews at number 1. So that's where we got that from. Andrews becomes our number 1 for our show here in the tight end position. I don't hate it. I don't disagree with it. Statistically, he was the number 1 last year. He's got the potential to be the number 1 again this year.
If he had a better quarterback, I think he'd have 100% chance of being the number 1.
And that's debatable though, because if he had a better quarterback, the quarterback wouldn't need to throw to the tight end as much. Tight ends are usually a crutch for a quarterback that can't really
Who else do they have on their team?
Throw the ball downfield. Nobody.
Exactly.
So that's
what I'm saying.
I'm just saying sometimes you get a better quarterback, that means the tight end goes down because they're throwing it further down the field to their faster wide receivers. They can hit them in stride, whereas Lamar Jackson couldn't hit a semi-truck in stride if it was parked. But anyway, nonetheless, Mark Andrews comes in at our number 1 on our tight end rankings.
I do think, though, that sorry, I hit the mic. But that that's gonna make a. But I do think that Mark Andrews is probably he's probably the best tight end in the league right now, in my opinion. And if he had a better quarterback, I think he would get more, because who else do they have on their team? They got rid of Marquise Brown, so nothing.
In his situation,
I think they did get a wide receiver. I think they got somebody in the draft, but he's not going to be any relevant.
Yeah, they've still got Rashad Bateman, which could step up this year, but I doubt that he's going to step up that much. No, Mark Andrews, his spot on the team is very secure. He's going to get all the targets that he can possibly want. So he's definitely going to be that tight end you want to go get. So that puts at number 2 on our list, Travis Kelce. Not a surprise there.
That's a surprise to me.
You go back in the history of Travis Kelce, and he's, in recent years, he's always in that top 2-3 spots.
Put your top 10 or top, however many you could think of in the description or the comments down below. We will rate them 1 out of 10. We'll comment on your comment 1 out of 10, and if you have the same as mine, you're getting a 10. So listen closely.
Yeah, give us your top 5. That's what we need, is your top 5. Anywhere past that is really just a dart throw, pretty much. But it's important, because if you don't have one of those top 5, you got to pick one of those dart throws in fantasy football.
So did you have Kelsey at 2 or 1? You had Kelsey at 1.
I had Kelsey at 1.
I had Kelsey at 4, and I have Kyle Pitts at 2. I think he's going to take a big step up this year.
You might be right. No, you might be right.
No.
Because his quarterback is Marcus Mariota. And like I said, it's not good for the team. Okay, it's not good for the Falcons. But like I said about Andrews, when your quarterback is not as good, he throws to the tight end more. They become a security blanket for him. Kyle Pitts is going to be and they don't have much receiver depth at all.
I just forgot that they got rid of Matt Ryan.
So it's going to be the Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts show, as much as Marcus Mariota can get the ball to them.
I for real think that that the Falcons are crazy and they just want to be out of the NFL.
I mean,
they're crazy.
Marcus Mariota is a
garbage can.
He's a decent quarterback, that he's competent, right? He can at least call the plays and go through the play. He can throw the ball, maybe not very well, but he can throw it. So I see what they're doing. They're going for kind of a rebuild. They're going to keep Kyle Pitts. He's going to be the center of their offense for the time being. And they're going to get a quarterback and running backs, and they're going to build around him. That's why they made the moves they did. But so Travis Kelce, number 2, that's not really a surprise.
I think
he's gonna be in your top 5 no matter what at the end of the year, unless he gets hurt.
I think that Travis Kelce is gonna go down because he doesn't have his former teammate Tyreek Hill. I think he's gonna go down because of that. I don't think he's gonna go up because usually you go up if your star player goes down, goes to a different team. I personally do not think that he's gonna go up. He might regress a little bit.
The thing with him will be his physical capabilities. One, does he get hurt? Which he normally doesn't. But if he doesn't get hurt, 2, is he starting to slow down and wear down because of his age? He's getting older. He's really statistically at the end of his career for a tight end. Can he do it this year? I think if he can still physically do it, he'll be great because he has a great football IQ. He can pick apart the defense. He sees the defender going this way, and he turns and goes this way off of his route. Him and Patrick Mahomes have that chemistry where they just know what to do for each other to make a play. And that's really important. So that's, for me, why he still lands at number 1, number 2 on our list.
Just touch the microphone again. I'm used to touching the sides of this.
Moving on to number 3, George Kittle. We both had George Kittle at number 3. This is another one that is interesting. If Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback,
I think Trey Lance will be.
If Jimmy G is the quarterback, I think Kittle could fall down the list a little bit because Garoppolo is capable of throwing the ball to receivers down the field.
And they got 2 pretty good receivers, Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel.
If Trey Lance is the quarterback, I think we see the same thing as with Mark Andrews and Kyle Pitts, where not as good of a quarterback, he's going to use the tight end a little bit more.
He's not a bad quarterback. Trey Lance is good.
Either way, George Kittle's he's a superstar. He's an awesome tight end. If he stays healthy, he's definitely going to help your team. Number 4 on our list. We've already talked about him some, but Kyle Pitts.
He's my number 2.
I think he last year ended number 9 for tight ends. I think he makes a big jump this year. I think he's in the top 5.
Well, actually, you put him at number 7.
You're right, I did.
Oh.
You're right, I did. But he has that potential and the capability to be in the top 5 for sure.
But you said that he wasn't a top 5.
You know what? Let's forget what I said, okay? Let's move on.
Okay.
Tight end number 5. And this is really, we did a top 5. And we'll share a couple picks after that just to let you know where our head's at on those. But our number 5, Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz for the Dallas Cowboys. He was a tight end number 3 last year. Now, you have Amari Cooper leaving. CeeDee Lamb will obviously step up. But Dak's got to throw to somebody he knows and trusts. And Dalton Schultz has proved that he can be that guy.
I just hit my toenail on the table.
That hurts. That's a bummer. Dalton Schultz. We have at number 5.
Finally, coming in at number 6. Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox. If you've watched this show for any amount of time, you know he was my guy last year.
And the year before. He
was my guy. I picked him up in all my leagues, and he did not disappoint, except when he hurt his finger. But other than the games that he missed, he did not disappoint when he was on the field.
And that wraps up this segment.
That's kind of where we stopped agreeing on on tight ends.
And then number 7, I have Pat Freiermuth.
And that's
Fryer.
I don't disagree. I mean, I can see that happening.
And then 8, I have Noah Fant.
I don't see that happening.
He's on the Seahawks. What else do they have?
Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Chris Carson, Rashad Penny,
Yeah.
and quarterback Drew Lock.
Oh, no.
Did you forget? Man.
I mean, they have a
That's
decent
scary.
team.
That is scary for Noah Fant. But on the bright side, Noah Fant has chemistry with Drew Lock because they played together on the Broncos.
But. Oh, forgot what I was going to say. But.
While you're thinking of that,
Figured it out. I don't know if you knew this already, but Jerry Jeudy is in jail right now. I was just thinking of the Broncos and Russell Wilson. He doesn't have many people to throw to anymore.
he's got Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick. They're good. You got to think Russell Wilson can. A good quarterback like that can make an okay receiver look good. They help each other out that way.
All right.
So I had Darren Waller number 5, which you didn't have on your list at all, so that didn't match up. And I had Hayden Hurst as my number 8.
What's your number 7? Oh yeah, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Hayden Hurst, yes, he was down the list last year. He was not even in the top 25. But he is moving into a very good position at Cincinnati. And I think Joe Burrow is going to have a good connection with him, and they're gonna do good things. But anyway, that's it for our tight end top picks.
10 picks.
10, a little less than 10.
8.
I guess combined.
Top 8 picks.
Combined between yours and mine, we had 10 different guys, so we can count that. But that's kind of where our heads are with the tight end position. It's a tough one once you get past number 3 and 4. It gets a little dicey, but those are the guys that we know are going to do well, and then the guys we think are going to do well, kind of at the end there. And that wraps that up. So the next thing we're going to do
is Would You Rather? Would You Rather?
Would You Rathers. This is one of our favorite segments. We really love doing these. Get you thinking about different scenarios that you may
face. And put your
face.
Would You Rathers down in the comments like ours. So like, let's say I have one. This is not one of mine, but would you rather have Tim Patrick or Cortland Sutton on your team? Put it in the comments down below which one you'd rather have on your fantasy team.
Yeah, and I'd like to get interaction from the people that watch these. Give us a would you rather in the comments, maybe 2 if you want, and we'll use your would you rather on our next show, and we'll talk about it. So give us that material, and we'll definitely run with it.
We'll put your comment on the screen. Give you a shout out.
So I'm going to start us off. Would you rather? Would you rather? And just so you know our theme. So we picked a theme for tonight for the Would You Rathers. And it is late round draft picks or guys that are not in your top 10, 15 players in a position.
Wait, what?
So we talked about this.
But I put like people that were not in the top 10 in fantasy.
Yeah.
I can do that?
Yeah.
All right.
I went deeper on the chart. I went pretty far down.
I didn't go too far down.
I went, you've got guys that are going to be your wide receiver 1, your Devontae Adams, your whatever, and then you got your guys that will be your wide receiver 2, and I went kind of
I had more 2s and 3s.
I went kind of in the 2 and the flex player kind of range, guys you'll get late in the draft. So that's what I went with.
Well, these guys are going to go pretty quick in the draft, not going to lie, but it's all right. They're not in the top 10 of fantasy. Actually,
Hey, if they don't go in the first 5 rounds of the draft, then I would consider that pretty late. So, but hey, we're already here. The ship is already sailing. So
these guys are gonna go way before 5th round.
We'll roll with what we've got. All right. So mine is: would you rather have on your team Allen Robinson or Cortland Sutton? Allen Robinson, here, let me give you the whole scenario. Allen Robinson finished number 94 in fantasy last year.
Pretty deep. And then Allen Robinson.
And Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton probably went like 200 something.
No, he finished number 47.
Wait, I thought he was hurt all year.
He was hurt.
No, that was 2 years ago.
Last year he played
probably 17
games.
Really?
17 games, finished the wide receiver 47.
That's pretty bad.
But here's the scenario, though, with both of these players. Both of these guys have, in years past...
Had bad quarterbacks.
Well,
yes.
Yes, that is true. But in years past, they've also been very relevant for fantasy. Not this past year, but in previous years. They have both had seasons where they've been in the top 25. Allen Robinson's been in the top 10 for fantasy finishes in a season.
Cortland Sutton was like
so they've got the talent. This year they both get new quarterbacks who are
better,
who are Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks.
Matthew Stafford. Yeah, he is.
Stafford is Hall of Fame caliber. Russell Wilson is Hall of Fame caliber. So they both get a huge upgrade in quarterback. And Allen Robinson's on a new team, a fresh start.
Cooper Kupp is on his team.
He's stepping into that Odell Beckham role on that team, which turned out pretty well for Odell Beckham last year, and it was going in an even better direction before he got hurt. So, would you rather grab Allen Robinson late or Cortland Sutton?
Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton. Why?
Because Allen Robinson has Cooper Kupp to compete with on his team, and Tyler Higbee, and even probably Odell Beckham Jr.
He's not been signed there yet. I don't think he's been signed anywhere yet. Van Jefferson's also there. He does have some competition.
Yeah,
but
who do you pick?
Cortland Sutton also has Jerry Jeudy, because he'll probably get out.
He's in jail.
We'll see. And Tim Patrick. And he also has Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams in the backfield to compete with for targets.
Javonte Williams good, but Melvin.
I think, me personally, I think I'd go Allen Robinson. If you're talking late in the draft, if you're talking round 10, round 11, if I can grab Allen Robinson for the potential that he has going in. I mean, he's done it before. He's going to a new team with a great quarterback who just won the Super Bowl. So that's where I stand on it. I think I'd grab Allen Robinson. Cortland Sutton hasn't proved it enough for me.
You grab him
in the past few seasons.
Okay.
All right, so that's mine. Go ahead with yours.
Would you rather have DK Metcalf or CeeDee Lamb?
This is easy for me.
I think I know you're going to pick.
This is easy for me. Mine's CeeDee Lamb. I have CeeDee Lamb ranked at number 3 for wide receivers. So I think he's going to do awesome this year. That's a no-brainer for me.
I'm going to say CeeDee Lamb as well, but I thought that was going to be harder.
Yeah, well, 2 years ago it would have been trickier. If Russell Wilson was still there.
I'm pretty sure 2 years ago CeeDee Lamb wasn't in the league.
Yeah, he was. It was his rookie year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 2 years ago I would have said DK Metcalf. After this past season and Russell Wilson leaving, I'm going CeeDee Lamb.
My next one's tough.
Good. Do you want to go ahead and do your next one?
Yeah. Would you rather have Mike Williams or Hunter Renfrow?
See, this one's a little tougher, but for me, it's still kind of an easy one.
Mike Williams.
Yeah, I'd take Mike Williams.
I'm going Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow just got a lot of targets stolen from him when they took Devontae Adams. His target share goes way down, in my opinion. But he might come out and prove us wrong. He's
going to.
So you would take Hunter,
you watch.
You would take Hunter Renfrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. They were both on the board.
We're gonna hold you to this, viewers. We're gonna hold him to this. Okay. Hunter Renfrow over Mike Williams. We'll see how that.
I got myself into.
You might be right. Mike Williams has a tendency to get hurt.
And
so that
he
could
has
happen.
Keenan Allen. And
Keenan Allen, whom you put in the fantasy football graveyard last week.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Was 3 days ago.
Do you remember that? Last episode you said he's going in the fantasy football graveyard. Now he's resurrecting to steal Mike Williams' thunder. I gotta keep him on his toes here, people.
I think I've changed my mind. I forgot. I thought they still had Phillip Rivers as their quarterback for some reason, but they got Herbert.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Mike Williams. And that's not even because you're going with him. It's because I disagree with you all the time. But I just feel like Mike Williams, I forgot that Darren Waller was on the team. I forgot he was on the NFL because I didn't put him in my top 8. I also forgot that Devontae Adams was on their team, so I was like, Hunter Renfrow's going to be all that, and then he's not. So.
You're just falling behind and you're keeping your football knowledge up to date. Like you know it, but you forget it.
You're right.
That's because football hasn't started, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we need it to start so we can be involved in it all the time. My last one. And this one is, and the more I think about this, the more difficult it becomes for me to make a choice on this. Later round running backs. Okay? Chase Edmonds or Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt was to go to the Bengals.
I want Kareem Hunt to go to the Bengals.
Yeah, me too. He'd be the best backup ever.
But, nevertheless, let's assume he's still on the Browns. Chase Edmonds or Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt.
Why?
Well, because Nick Chubb is injury prone. Jonas Johnson is good, but I feel like he wouldn't pass up Kareem Hunt. But also Kareem Hunt's injury prone. But also Chase Edmonds is injury prone. And also Chase Edmonds has Raheem Mostert as a competition, and Myles Gaskin as competition, and Sony Michel as competition. That's 3 good people. Competition.
That's the thing. The more I thought about it, the more complicated that question got. Because
I'm going.
If you would have asked me 2 months ago,
Kareem Hunt,
I would have said Chase Edmonds. Miami paid him to come there. He's besides Myles Gaskin, who kind of tanked last year. Other than him, Chase Edmonds, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be running that backfield. And then they pick up Sony Michel, and they pick up Raheem Mostert. And they've even hinted to Raheem Mostert's going to be the starter if he's healthy.
Yeah, he's fast.
He is, but
Speed.
But here's an interesting fact that not very many people have thought about. Raheem Mostert in the last 4 seasons.
Hurt every year, yeah.
In the last 4 seasons, he's played a total of 10 games. So he's not going to play a whole season. He can't play a whole season worth of games in 4 years. So, but it is complicated because if Nick Chubb is there, he's the guy in Cleveland.
Well, also Kareem Hunt is the third down back.
Kareem Hunt does get a lot of touches, but Dearness Johnson is also creeping his way in. So it's very complicated.
But I hope Kareem Hunt goes to the Bengals and then the Bengals are even better than they are already.
That would be awesome. So, but Chase Edmonds ended number 37. Kareem Hunt ended number 46. Our props on the set are starting to fall a little bit. We need to get those repaired. But anyway, my answer changed from when I wrote the question to now. Because when I wrote the question, I was going to go Chase Edmonds. But the more I thought about it, I'm going Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, Old Faithful. He's gonna land you. You know, he's not gonna be a top 10 guy, but he will be a consistent running back. So we agreed. I think we agreed on all of them tonight.
Except, yeah, we did. Sorry, that hurts my hands really bad.
So that's gonna do it for our Would You Rather segment. And that's going to do it for our show. So we really appreciate you guys watching, listening. We definitely want your comments. We want to know what your would you rathers would be.
And also, so since we got the new camera, we've also had to make some changes. So we have got some new intros, outros, but we have the same intro. So I got the same the intro app maker, so we got the same intro where it's like all the playbooks like or something like that. What is it like?
You go back and watch it. You'll see what it's like.
It's like
So we've had some new editing and new tools that we're using, hopefully to make it all better for you, the viewer. So be patient with us a little bit if there's a few glitches, but we definitely think you're going to like it better. So, but make sure you go in, you like the video, subscribe to us, make sure you turn on your notifications, tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, your dogs, your enemies, your
cats,
whoever about the show. If they play fantasy football, hopefully they'll find some value in what we have here.
Chicago.
And other than that, he's off to Florida. I'll be in Florida joining him, and we will be coming to you from Florida next week. So make sure you tune in for that. And that is it for the show, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
All right.